Good afternoon, everyone. Depending on where you're joining from, maybe there's good morning, good evening, or good night right now. It's fantastic to have people joining across Asia, Africa, Europe, and Americas. Today, we are discussing a very important topic, solar AI agent or AI agent or AI. Is it really a buzzword, which is just again useless, or a breakthrough for us in energy sector? Every week, there has been announcement on new AI developments, new models, new predictions. Anthropica said we have Mythos, Fable. America said you cannot give it to everyone. And to be honest, like there's excitement in the market, but there's also a lot of fear in this. And is it really raising question? Is it how important is it for us and how it can impact our sector, which is energy sector? We have been working in the last few decades on energy sector, how it will impact. Is it something can make us go much, much faster or it will slow us down? Can AI genuinely help to operate or manage energy assets better? Or are we getting carried away with the hype? And one important event is happening next week, Intersolar. I can't think of any relevant topic than us. Let me just do one thing. Sorry, I just want to make a full screen because that's what I got to hear. Perfect. So yeah, around the corner, Intersolar is coming. It is next week, one of the largest in Europe, maybe in the world also. Very excited to be there. And I think I can't think of more relevant topic than this one. Right now, today, we have an amazing panel. I will introduce it. They have been solving real life problems, real world energy challenges. So yeah, if you have any questions and all, you can write down in the chat and we'll take it forward. So let's go for next. House rules. While waiting for others to join, here are some points to keep in mind. Feel free to write your questions and concern in the Q&A tab. It's just there. Throughout the presentations, we'll be taking those question answers from you. If anything goes wrong, refresh your browser and rejoin same again. It's a very standard start your computer again, kind of that. And of course, if you're interested to know more about the work on AI, what we have been building, please book a demo with our team. Forward faster. Now I want to be a little provocative here. Is AI bullshit or really works? What actually works today? Where AI breaks? And what solar professionals should realistically expect? Ladies and gentlemen, myself is Govinda. I'm the CEO and founder of Smart Helio. I have a background in climate change and physics and working in solar sector for the last 15 years. I'll be the moderator for today. So before we start, let's start with a very quick poll. How often do you use AI today? Very simple, no stress. Let's launch the poll. I'll let you guys start. Multiple times in a day, daily, weekly, occasionally. Very interesting. Let's wait for another 5-10 seconds. There's a funny thing will come after this. The results really shows very funny. Okay, let's end the poll. And here's the result. So most of us are using multiple times, almost daily. So daily and multiple times, we are 80% of the crowd. There are a few folks using weekly, and there are few people occasionally. Thank God, there's no one said that I never heard about it. That would have been really bad. Like, okay, so this is good, guys. We are doing really well, really, really well. So I'll stop now here. Okay, let's go to the next one. Our panelist. So this is where it gets super interesting. So ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to welcome Dr. Robin Herschel. Robin, yes. I'll say a few words about you. We can't see you still. It's a black screen, but I know that you are available. I just heard from you. It's not your AI. So I want to make a little story about Robin. So it's a quick story. We first met Robin 4 years ago at a Reuters conference in Munich. We had a small startup booth there. And Robin stopped by and started asking questions. How do you detect problems, Govinda? Tell me what is that? And what struck me was not the number of questions, but the insightful and relevant details he knew. It just felt like he has done those things. He has experienced it. And from that moment, I said, I need this person, whatever happens. So I've been chasing Robin always. Now he's my client also, but always bothering him that tell me more, tell me more. So that's what he's the guy who tell me more. So really appreciate you being here, Robin. Few word, what excites you about yourself and what excites AI for you?
Well, thank you very much, Govinda, for this beautiful introduction. I'm Robin. Welcome to everybody here. Some of you might have heard me in one or the other of the conferences. One thing that the slide doesn't say here is my age. I'm 51 years old, and that's maybe the reason why I'm see myself a little bit as an AI skeptic. AI is very fast statistical models that can do a lot, but still not anywhere close to human intelligence, in my humble opinion. And I'm looking forward to an exciting discussion today.
Thank you, Robin. Always a pleasure to have you. So next person is Vincenzo. So Vincenzo is a VP of Operation at Ignite Power, which is one of the Africa's leading distributed energy companies with a mission to really do something super cool, get light to people, businesses, and across the continent. Fun story, Vince and I actually studied together. We started energy access journey 15 years back together. Since then, Vince has become a recognized leader in the sector, building multiple companies, exiting multiple companies, and now leading one of the largest companies, make sure that energy is still relevant. I'm delighted to have you, Vince, here. And yeah, we call him Vince, so I'll continue calling Vince because Vincenzo sounds too long for me. Vince, go ahead.
Thank you for the introduction, Govinda, and a pleasure to be here today. Yeah, my name is Vincenzo Capogna. You can call me Vince. I'm, of course, Italian, almost 40 years old, and yeah, working in energy access, solar plus battery, most of my career, where AI is gets interesting for us is on multiple levels. We'll speak about this today.
Thank you, Vince. Your voice is a bit breaking, Vince, but we will see how it goes. Otherwise, you can switch off your video for the moment. But otherwise, great to have you here.
But of course, I mean,
that's good. That's the beauty of having a
one of the topic is CNI, a company that we operate in West Africa, and now we use AI in this company.
Okay, Vince. Thank you. I'll go next is Jan. So Jan is our next panelist. Interestingly, I only met Jan a couple of months back. We had a very close discussion in Barcelona at Solar Power Europe. But I have been following his work on LinkedIn. So he's kind of my LinkedIn friend for long. I have been always appreciated his views on energy challenges, the way he look at the market in a different way. And he's really on high level on strategy and governance here. So welcome, Jan. Few words, what AI excites you and about yourself?
Thank you so much, Govinda, for the nice introduction. And I'm very happy to be here today. Basically, I have been in the PV industry for over 20 years, and my passion always was how to interpret the highly technical engineering topics to the common public in a reasonable way that they understand that the PV requires not only the price tag, but also the reliability and safety. And if I should translate it to the AI somehow, I'm really hoping that the AI will assist the people who are used to cut the corners on quality and reliability. And if AI can objectively benchmark the safety issues or reliability within the system, then people like me or other sales teams will definitely have way less work to advocate why premium quality has its own price. And I hope that with AI, we can finally stop treating PV as a cheap commodity.
Very well put, Jan. Thank you. And we'll have more opportunity to go through it during our webinar also. Well, our next, last not least, my friend, our co-founder, Shankran Srivastav. Many of you have gone through, if you have worked with Smart Helio, you have gone through Smart Helio analysis. It's all led by Shankran's team. What impresses me about his ability to look at data and understand complex system, quickly identify what really matters. And sometimes I always say that sometimes Shankrans can smell the data and knows what's going on with that. You don't need AI for this. So this is how I see there is Shankransh and then AI comes in there. Shankransh, few words about what excites you about AI and about yourself.
Thanks, Govinda. That's the most exquisite introduction I've ever heard of myself. No, hey everyone. Really glad to be on the panel here and speaking with other industry leaders. I think I came to renewable industry because my father worked for Asia's biggest coal-based thermal power plant, and I have been a rebel in the family. So I'm like, I'm gonna do exactly opposite of what you do, and that's how I landed up in renewable. But the journey has been very exciting. Like the first 10 years, I've been building renewable energy assets. Never thought that I'll be building a software, playing with data. But I think it was the experience of building all of these assets that now I love data, right? And I'm looking forward to talk about my thoughts on AI. Again, something I never thought I would do in my life, but here I am.
So what can we say? We become bigger and we have to discuss different topics which we didn't imagine. So welcome to adulthood, Shankransh. Excellent. So welcome, guys. So let me first quickly introduce my version of the panelist here, why everyone is here and how they bring different perspective. So I'll be the moderator, guys. So thank God I don't have to speak much. I have to just being annoying guy asking questions. So that's good. Robin will act like a asset owner and investor. So that's the hat he's wearing here. Vince has been an operation person, excellent in operation, especially in situations where really God can help. So maybe the God is with him and AI. I don't know. We discover more. We have Jan has been part of multiple companies, seeing from strategy and governance side that how these global companies are behaving, especially energy companies moving forward. And Shankransh will touch base from engineering and AI angle. And of course, our panelists are expert. They're all engineers, has worked on solar, so they can participate in different topics. But generally, this was the reason why we chose this panelist with different competences. Before we jump into the topic, we want to start with very simple problem statement. I will let Shankransh open the panel. Shankransh, over to you. I'll let you describe what exactly we are looking into.
So what we did here is we wanted to test some AI models, some LLM models, right? What we did was we gave the exact same information to ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini, and saw what kind of response do they give to the problem, right? And ultimately, what we want to discuss here is based on those responses, how reliable are they? Are they good enough for us to take that and start taking action, or there has to be a human in the loop, right? So what we did here was we took data off an inverter. What you see here is on the top, the DC power, on the bottom, the DC voltage, and definitely in the middle of the day, as you can see, there's this curtailment happening, right? That's the information we gave with the exact same questions to 3 different models, right? Gunda, if you could go to the next slide.
Yes. Let me go. Yeah.
So we gave a very simple prompt, asked 5 questions, and then we asked to consolidate the responses. Let's see the responses. Next slide, Govinda.
Yes, here we go. Perfect.
All right, perfect. So we wanted to know how much loss are we making because of curtailment. We wanted to know if a battery system, a BESS, could be recommended, and if so, what's going to be its size, and when exactly is that clipping or curtailment happening, right? Interestingly, if you look at the battery sizing between the lowest and the highest recommendation, there's a gap of 2.5x. Same thing is in energy lost. If you look at the clipping window, they have all detected clipping, but in different windows. Someone is saying noon, someone is saying from morning until late afternoon, stuff like that. So there is an information that all the three of them gave, but is it actionable enough, right? So, for example, let's say, Robin, I come to you, let's say I'm one of your engineers. I used ChatGPT. I come to you and I say, Robin, there's curtailment in the plant. Let's put a 500 kWh battery. What would be your reaction to it? And I tell you honestly that this is what GPT told me.
Well, the first reaction certainly is that I would ask you which questions you asked, because many of you might know the wonderful book, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and at some point you get the ultimate answer to life, the universe, and everything being 42. Unfortunately, people forgot the question that was asked a million of years before the answer came up, and so it's always important, what is the question? And looking at these three results here on this table, knowing that AI is just large statistical models and basically guessing answers based on the most probable answers, I would take my own decision, but use this as a basis for the decision, going for probably a 100 kilowatt, 250 kilowatt hour battery system, because that's somewhere in the middle range here of the answers we get.
Correct. Great. So the question that you were looking for is, what's the benchmark based on which these decisions have been taken? Yeah, what's the logic, right?
Yes.
Wins. What do you think, right? Would let's say someone tells you that this much energy is being lost because of curtailment. What's going to be your take? How would you respond to that? You're on mute, by the way.
Yes. Can you hear me well now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. If it stopped, I can turn off the video. But I mean, at the basics, when someone comes to me with a very, very basic question, I might ask them, did you check with Google, or do you check with, like, an AI tool? When they come to me with a very basic answer, like, I got this problem, I just ask AI and I'm bringing you the answer, like completely unfiltered. I ask them always, did you check it? Because if the issue is just a matter of asking, uploading the data to AI and asking, what should I do? Then what the value of the engineer in this process? So I believe, and this is what I tell my team, each one needs to add value at every step. We are not here like in a bureaucratical company, just passing paper left to right, but we're also not here in a company where we are just like, passing AI information left to right. There, I saw a video a few weeks ago where there was this guy making a joke about how everyone in the different level in his company just like copy pasting AI responses, and we don't want to be that company. So where AI has value, I will say to my engineer, is that he can give you some he can analyze a lot of data and give you some interpretation, but then you do need to verify those, because you have more context than what you have put in, as Robin would say, in the initial answer that you ask. Like if you ask a 5-line, a 1 or 2 sentence question, the AI is not going to have all the information that you have, ideally, about, what the situation of this specific plant, and can this statistically relevant answer be actually appropriate in this case? Yeah. So
Right.
did you verify it, and what do you think about that? Yeah.
I think, Govinda, from what I hear, there are two things. First is definitely a human in the loop that will increase the confidence, but at the base of that confidence is there's a question of trust, right? That how much can we trust? And Jan, if I could come to you with that question of trust, um, do you think it's risky, it's too dangerous to just blindly trust AI?
Well, I would probably start it in this way. If we shall understand how to use AI or how to utilize the AI, I would describe it like if you would hand over the Ferrari car keys to someone who is still practicing in the driving school. In other words, AI in the hands of unskilled people can be dangerous. And then the question certainly is, what means unskilled people? Because it's not about writing the prompts or defining the prompts, but it's important to make sure that the not only the questions to AI, but also the answers from AI are really well matching with the greater picture, with the whole scope, and there has to be clarity of the result to be used in the context which we need. And missing the context, in my opinion, will be in the future one of the tricky points, which will be somehow discouraging people to, let's say, use the AI in the right way. My opinion is that we as people need to learn much more on how to utilize AI in the correct way, and make sure not to blindly believe of what the AI is telling us, because as Robin mentioned here earlier, it's only a summary of, let's say, probability related answers. And I would only add to that in many cases has been reported that the AI, if they don't have the right answer, they will simply make one.
That's true. You have to give an answer. If you don't have one, build one.
Correct.
Yeah, thanks for that. I think I really like that one word that you use is context, right? Because as engineers, we would want to know the benchmark, we would want to know the context, we would want to know the methodology by which we are coming to a particular conclusion. Thanks all the three of you for that. Over to you, Govinda.
No, thanks. I think this is a very good starting point to further more questions we have here. And I like what Jan said, that if you have a Ferrari to drive, you can't give it to someone who is still in the school, or like me, who doesn't know driving, right? So that's the problem. That we need to have, I think AI is an excellent tool, but we need to know how to handle it, when to trust this. And that comes with really being more involved with AI and understanding whatever the output is coming. So either we are on control of the output, or AI is on control of the output. Choice is ours. Great. So I think the key message was very clear that AI, I think that's coming out for all our panelists here, that AI can get you from 0 to 80% or 60% or 90%, but there's still that final 10% is remaining, and we need expertise on that one. And this is where I think this whole fear that, oh, okay, AI will just replace everything and this will go. Maybe it's true in sector. I do believe that in our sector, where still there's a lot of things need to be done, we need smart people. We need smart people to take us till the end here. Great. So let's start the floor with one, that what is still broken in solar operations here? And I will start with Vince. Vince, I'll ask you a very precise question. So what operational task frustrates your team on day-to-day basis, if you give one example?
I mean, the number one frustrating task for our team is definitely the inefficient back and forwards that you have between, the client, the supplier, or the person offering warranty on a certain product. Every time an issue comes out, either you are able quickly to define, and with relatively level of certainties, what is the cause and and how to resolve it. Otherwise, you start getting into this gray zone where, the client become less confident. Everyone in the team, like you are gonna have different people pointing finger at each other, and then there is this, messy and frustrating situation of uncertainty. So that's an area where, today AI can help us, not necessarily in giving out directly the answer, but in helping us structuring better questions. So if we go back to the previous example, a way to use it for an engineer, in my opinion, would be, instead of saying, tell me what happened and tell me the solution, will be, okay, what are, the most probable cause of this, and what should I check, to validate if it's option A, option B, and option C, because then, it can give you a relatively good statistical analysis of the problem, and then, some next steps for you to work on and to add value.
No, Vince, it's right, like resolving conflicts, and especially in the day-to-day, it's a supplier's problem, it's OEM's problem, or is it client's problem? It's really difficult in our sector. And definitely AI can put certain level of clarity on this, but we need humans on that, definitely. Let me go to Jan here. So Jan, can you point out like what are the inefficiencies have become accepted norm in solar industry and which shouldn't be actually? Like people just accept it, that's how the life is, just deal with it.
Yeah, for sure. If you don't mind, I would like to offer you the point of view from let's say, the sales or business development perspective.
Sure.
And the industry is nowadays building assets that they claim to survive 30, 40, even 50 years, whatever. But we are actually in conflict with people who think of those assets in 1 year budget frames. In other words, watching the capex of a project under preparation right now without taking into consideration the life of installation until the decommissioning. Well, decommissioning is a special chapter anyways, but then we have a problem. And many players on the market today are a little bit schizophrenic because they run a very modern industry segment with very old-fashioned, I would say 1990 or 1980 sales brain. And for me, what is desperately needed, and where I really believe that the AI could help in the future, is to be way more precise on predictive maintenance, on predictive events, predictive tasks which might be taking place in the future. Because, and I'm very sorry to say this, many people who invest into PV today, they have really hard time to even imagine what can happen with a PV array in 30, 40, 50 years.
Yeah. No, definitely, Jan. Like this is very interesting that at the beginning of the solar plant, like if we can get some predictability, but since that is not there, we just accept this as a normal. Like, yeah, I just don't know, so I'm going to plan for next year on that side. Robin, I would like to just point out this what Jan was saying. Can you comment on this, like how true it is, and is it like, and why it is so hard to get this kind of information?
Why is it so hard to get this kind of information? I think the big challenge that many AI models still have, and that is maybe mimicking the so-called human intelligence quite well, and Jan said it in his previous answer. The model doesn't tell you when it doesn't know the answer, and it doesn't tell you when simply the amount of information available is not sufficient. We are basically struggling very often with incomplete, broken, potentially false information, false data, incomplete data, missing data, and rather than getting any answer, it sometimes would be good just also from an algorithm to say, sorry guys, with that amount of input, I can't produce any sensible information. And yes, if AI can help us identifying the required data in order to produce this kind of preventive maintenance predictions and sort of to-dos for an asset owner, that would be very helpful. But sometimes we have to, in my opinion, take a step back and say, okay, what are we still missing in terms of knowledge in order to make reasonable decisions?
I want to be a little provocative here. Like what you're saying that sometime, so Jan said that I just don't have enough information to predict what's going to happen to solar panels while making decisions. So that's why I only think about 1 year, not for next 5 or 10 years. And you are mentioning that since we do not have all the correct data points, so this makes me more struggle. Isn't it like that's the ambition of AI, that even if we have less data point, AI should be able to do some magical thing to get me to the right one? Or you feel that it is far away still for our industry just because AI was never trained on our industry? Is it this direction you're going?
I wouldn't say it is far away, but I'm still lacking the I would say confidence level, so that AI tells me, okay, this is my answer, this is my prediction, this is my what I would suggest you to do or to prepare to be done in 1 year, 5 years, 10 years. But this has only a confidence level of 50%, yeah, and
Right.
that would be very helpful. And yes, I agree with you, Govinda. This is the aim where AI should be able to help us identifying missing data, identifying wrong data. But here I'm still sensing that the ambition to produce an answer is higher than having the algorithm telling you, no way, there is no answer with that information you provided.
Yeah. No, I totally agree, Robin. Like sometimes that's the problem with the current LLM models or AI, what we are imagining, they always say something. And this is what we will like, just if you don't have it, just say that you don't have it, and that's okay also, right? So let's go to the second one, slide here. Now, we have been using AI, means I know like all of us have been using AI for the last 20, well, Robin for a little longer because he's 51, but we all maybe 15, 20 years back. Robin, you pointed out your age, so I have to come back to it. But we are not far, okay? Vince, myself, all 40 and all these things. So we are nearby. So let's say 20 years. We have been using AI. It's not something new for us in solar, especially. A lot of times we have used AI. But now the AI is different. It's just different version of AI we are looking into. Let's point out like certain real value where AI is created for us now. And of course, we'll have later part also what will happen in future. But currently, if you're using AI, can you tell us like how it is helpful? So I'll start with Robin. Robin, let's say you have two identical portfolios come to you on your desk. One is AI-driven asset management, really nicely done, AI report, cloud colors, everything. And one is like usual things. If you have to put value that which asset you're going to buy, what will be your take here? I know there's no right or yes or no answer here, but love to have your perspective on this.
Yeah, AI is of course a very broad term, and as you say, Govinda, we have in one way or the other been using it for decades already. maybe in the early days, even without it having the name of artificial intelligence. And it very much depends on how and where AI is used. I mean, if a portfolio is set up in a way that a system like and no, I don't get paid for participating here, but like Smart Helio can really digest the incoming data and take usable recommendations from the data. That of course has a value, and I would investor also see this as a benefit for the future operation of the plant. If I'm looking at a portfolio that has a malfunctioning monitoring system, and the seller tells me, and by the way, I have just also put an AI platform on top of this non-functioning monitoring system, and now everything is much better than before, then it probably doesn't have any significant or measurable value.
Yeah. Robin, you very nicely put one point. Thanks for appreciating Smartly. I really appreciate it. But the most important line came out, and which I really genuinely personally feel, and I've talked to many of my clients, that if you have your data placed in such a way that you can run any kind of algorithm, just basic A plus B equal to C, I think that's the best way to do. At least you have created a foundation for the future. And that's most important. And that will definitely have more value than some assets which is not yet being monitored very well. Definitely well taken. I'll go to Shankransh here. Shankransh, you have been using AI. I know in our team, we have been using AI like pretty crazy sometimes. So do you have some numbers in place now, how it is really helping your team?
Of course. I'll give you an example. Our algorithms, whatever issues they identify, at least the critical ones, they go through a team of 4 people, a human validation, just so we want to make sure we are giving the correct value to the customer. As the number of assets on our platform were increasing, there was one guy checking the outputs of the algorithms to now 6 people. Yeah. 6 people, 8 hours, 48 hours every day, people are working to make sure all the critical faults given by the system is correct. In past 3 months, we built an agent to do that validation, right? I have 0 person looking at that result now. So per day, just making that one agent, of course, it took us a lot of months to test it and all of that. But 48 hours every day is being saved, right? Now we still have 1 person who's checking a few things, but
Yeah. Now, there's a very critical number actually from 48 hours to with multiple people. Of course, there are multiple people looking into certain results thrown out by our algorithms. Now it's AI which also checks it. So we have a checks and balances in place, and this is really very concrete here. I will go to the next question because time is running out here. So I'll go to here. Something very important. So look, AI is nice, beautiful. It can write in email. It can write in Japanese email for me. So we have now Japanese clients. So I'm writing in Japanese, really good. And they appreciate my language skills till they talk to me. But if you see the AI failures and lesson learned here, Vince, can you point out like right now, any AI recommendation which you felt that was bad for operational? Like any AI failures you've seen, especially from the operational lens? You're on mute, Vince. And I didn't mute you. You can
Sorry.
still like your voice.
No, sorry,
Go
you're
ahead,
right.
please go ahead.
Yeah, failure, I don't know but I would say more like AI is a tool, so it's on us to define how we use it. And so we need to be aware of the limit that also AI has, and for example, how much context and do they have the right appropriate context? Like sometimes we speak about the difference between precision and accuracy. Like you can have a tool that is very precise, or a financial model that has 500 tabs and everything seems to be considered. But if the number inside, if the input are not correct, you're never gonna get a good answer. or a good output. So, and here is the same. Like if you take, for example, a situation like Nigeria, a country where we have, a lot of blackouts and many hours of operation also for industrial client on diesel. When you are considering, for example, cost for curtailment, you need to know, look, one of the causes of curtailment can be not that the client is not consuming enough, but that the client at the same time is using, for example, a diesel generator with a high capacity, and you cannot, even if solar could input more, you need to run a minimum a certain threshold of the generator in order to avoid problems. So again, it's not completely a failure. It's more like you need to be aware. And that's why I said before, it's better to ask AI, give me, the most plausible option. And then I'm gonna, analyze that and say, just give me the answer and I'm sending it to someone else. Yeah.
Vince, no, thank you. I really like this example where you see some drop in solar energy consumption. So it looks like a curtailment or load shedding, but you see that your client is just burning a lot of diesel on higher point of view, right? And it's just
Or we know
bad.
that they have,
Just bad.
an oversized generator, like it is the
Oversized
case for
generator,
many
right?
clients in Nigeria. Yeah.
Exactly. And this is exactly this looks like a very simple thing, but such a complex thing to solve. First, putting physical assets like solar panels, batteries, and all, but then you have to know that what's happening with the system. And this is where AI can make mistakes if you just absolutely trust them. But what you're saying that if you give me option A, B, C, D with some kind of probabilities, it will help our team to dig deeper and even call the client and find some more ways. No, beautifully put, Vince. Thank you for sharing this part. Robin, now again, I'm coming back to you on this. Have you seen AI produced an answer which looks pretty convincing? Like the ChatGPT always says you're the best investor and almost just below Elon Musk. That's what always I get. But you feel that that was bad results. Like really, that was completely bullshit. Any anecdote you remember recently in the last, let's say, 1 month or a couple of days back? Apart from our report, don't talk about that.
Uh, Well, it sometimes seems to me that the simpler the questions you ask an AI algorithm, the more stupid the answers get. And one of the funniest, I mean, and I'm deliberately trying to annoy these algorithms. That's for sure. And I try to get contradicting answers by just repeatedly asking. And then the funny thing I had recently was that I wanted just simply to reformat a Word document and have a table that was translated, then sorted and formatted differently, and the AI wasn't able to do that. And after 10 minutes, and I was getting a little bit angry, I got the answer: please do it by hand and do it yourself. Yeah. So that was funny when the question comes up. Did I get results that were financially dangerous? I would say no, but only because I followed what has been said before by others, that I try to do sanity checks on the answers, and I've learned from my math teacher, and that is a long time ago. You know how old I am by now, and he said you can never estimate as wrong as you can calculate. So if you have a rough idea of what you're expecting, and then you can always sanity check the answers you get from artificial intelligence. I wouldn't trust AI to, let's say, buy the plant and sign the contracts itself without a human being checking it first.
Robin, and I just want to share one more thing. Like once I saw a number, like it was 2000 kilowatt hours per kilowatt. It means, and that was the real generation of a solar plant. That's just not possible because otherwise you were just inside the sun then. And that was the output I received from AI once it did some calculation for some zone. I don't think so. It was Africa. It was
Yeah,
some.
but you won't base any decision on that.
No. I knew because I have a little bit physics. Reality, AI cannot break the reality of where we live, right? No, this is good. Jan, very quick take on this. What are the biggest mistakes companies are currently making with AI adoption?
Okay, I will answer with an experience which I made last year when I was invited for a conference of one of the very famous Japanese manufacturer of X-ray machines for the hospitals. And they were showing the AI tool, which basically means that they were uploaded the cancer cells into the system, millions of cases. And basically, when you went through an X-ray, the AI could very quickly identify the cancer cells very precisely. And in opposite, you have the doctors who don't evaluate millions of cases, but each of the doctor has maybe a few hundred cases in his mind. And the probability of making a mistake, therefore, is relatively high. And it takes him a while. He invites other doctors, they talk, they see, is it a cancer, is it not, how serious is that, and blah, blah, blah. What I'm trying to say here is that in order to come up with a good results with AI, probably we need to slow down a little bit. And it is very important for us to make sure that we will pick the areas which take us most of the time and where the humans have the highest probability of making mistakes. If we are able to identify those types of works, then we can certainly use AI very efficiently to automate the things within the sales process or within the business process in energy segment, of course, as well. And that means we should not be spending a huge money on learning very sophisticated prompting and so on. It's very important to have the base data. It's very important to bring the context for the AI, and then really pick up the segment where it can bring us the biggest savings of time or money.
Jan, thank you. It's really nice when you say that we need to slow down. I think it's very true. Like there is a FOMO, fear of missing out among all of us. But slowing down is a good way, at least from the company side. As an individual, of course, we need to keep learning, but as a company. This is great, Jan. Thank you. So we go to the last part of debate, but since we don't have so much of time left, because we were very enthusiastic about answering question and talking, I will just like one line from you. How much should we trust AI? It's a very generic question. I know we have heard multiple times, but I just want to close this webinar with that. Let's start with wins. Junior engineer with AI tool or senior engineer without AI tool? Which one would you hire?
I think
okay,
they should
that was
both
controversial
have,
a little bit. No one will apply to you.
No, but I would say for me today, what I tell my team is that we need everyone to be familiar and to start using AI. I make this example of saying, it's a bit like the digital calculator came out, and we have, people, bookkeeper that are like, I like to, just do calculation by hand, so I'm not gonna use it, or like you have the example also very common now in among devs. And so for me, a junior analyst using AI is really important that he understand, how to use it well, because the risk that, is gonna not use it properly, or is gonna rely too much of the answer, is not gonna question them, and is gonna lack some basic check is relatively high. So definitely junior engineer with AI, with some training on how to use it. Senior engineer without AI, I would say it's very important that the senior engineer gets to start using AI, because it's gonna, it's like you cannot live without in the business world. And it is, even more valuable for me for a senior engineer, because it's gonna be easier for the senior engineer to understand what AI gets wrong and what he gets right. It's gonna be easier for the senior engineer, to be empowered by AI and not to become, more lazy and just get all the answer, because he's done all his career and he's like, I can delegate to AI some, repetitive, less valuable part of my work, so that I can spend more time and becoming more efficient. While for the junior engineer, I see more the risk of the person just, I don't know what this is. I don't want to spend time figuring out this problem. I'm just gonna give it to AI and trust the answer. So that would be my reflection on this.
That was much a long. Was looking for one-line answer, but you have been very diplomatic.
Sorry.
So I appreciated that. Now you're becoming really like a C-level guy, huh? No more direct. Let it go around here and there. Real Italian. Very good. Shankranch, one line. A senior analyst with 10 years of experience or a trained model with millions of data points. What's your take now?
I wouldn't take anyone without AI, not because only because AI makes you efficient, but I would also validate the output of the AI before getting some level of trust.
Great. Jan, you already said the answer. We need to slow down, so I'm not going to ask you. You already said that. We need to take a chill pill a bit. Robin, what kind of confidence you need from AI before you start making investment decisions? I know that you need your element of touch, human touch, but what level you feel AI can reach?
Well, I can live with a confidence level of 60% as long as I know that it is only 60%, and that's I think the one line to that. I always tell my colleagues we can do whatever we want as long as we know what we're doing wrong, and if we and where we take shortcuts and where we are inaccurate. So also human decisions are based on often very inaccurate information or incomplete information. So any confidence level works as long as we know what it is.
Perfect. So honesty from AI, don't lie. That's it. So lie
Exactly.
should not lie.
Tell me what you don't know.
Yes. Very well put here. So, okay. So again, like solar operations 2030. So we are projecting ourselves in next 5 years. One thing you feel can be done. So we'll start with Shankranch. What will AI will still struggle to do in 2030, according to you?
Understand emotions.
Oh,
Empathy.
okay. You want to make friends with AI? No, that's fine. Fair enough. Jan, what skills become more valuable because of AI in next 5 years in solar?
I believe the AI will take over anything what can be automated. What will be left to the humans will certainly be related to the relationship building, because any kind of business, as we like it or not, will always be happening human to human, not an algorithm to algorithm. So from my perspective, people who are able and willing to sell on a diplomatic way, they will always have an advantage, and they will be irreplaceable by AI.
Perfect. Again, empathetical emotion. So I think all the folks here who feel that they can just code and do things, no, let's start making friends. Let's be more emotional, empathetically connected. So that's a good skill to have. Vince, what operational activity will completely disappear by 2030? What do you think?
Hopefully, repetitive analysis done on Excel files that are breaking all the time. This hopefully will be gone.
Okay,
Maybe even
Excel
earlier.
files. That's a good one. Robin, will you think that the AI managed portfolio command a premium valuation? 2030 we are talking about now.
Again, what has been said before, depending on what it is meant, but short answer probably yes, if it is based on solid data base and yeah, yes.
Okay, so it's very positive attitude now. So I won't. Sorry. I'll mute Robin for you. Okay, so we had one last sentences. We won't have time to go into that, but maybe for the later one, I will publish this one result. What I want to say now, we want to take one question from audience here. And sorry for that, guys. It was very exciting time. So Jeremy has asked Robin, could AI agent be developed to help cover some gaps in data review and making it have minimum data quality requirement? So on the data side, do you think that AI agents can be developed to clean up the data and understand the data better? Short answer, quick answer, Robin.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Again, with certain confidence level, depending on the amount and the size of the gaps or inaccuracies. But yes, absolutely. At least AI can certainly identify areas, times, slots where data looks weird, let's say.
Yes, it can point out the bad things. Yeah. Okay, last question on the AI security. So we are all scared about that AI will take away my data. I don't want to do it, especially from the company side. So Jan, what do you think that companies should think when the data security and governance come into picture?
The cybersecurity or data security is becoming a hot topic nowadays. The question is, how secure are we with using AI in general? And that's probably going to be, and I'm not a security expert, but I believe this is going to be kind of a very basic topic which we need to get answer for. How to make sure that the content which we are tasking to AI is safe by itself. And if the content is safe, then we can make sure that also the results or the outcomes powered by AI will be safe as well. But there have been some doubts, as far as I understood, that the content which is being nowadays tracked by AI is not always in the safe hands. So let's see where this will go,
Absolutely. And so from our take also, I think a lot of our customers want to have better data security and trust on AI, and AI architecture, the way it's built can be done. But definitely the current AI, what we feel can help us, I don't think that they're made yet to address the data security part of our sector.
Yeah. This is actually when I mentioned that the quality of AI outputs will pretty much depend on the quality of data you feed the AI with. And I'm not sure if you, for example, want to have a financial analysis done by AI, if you really want to give all the financial data of your company to the AI without knowing what's happening with it in the background,
Well, some people are doing already secretly, actually. Well, guys, this is the end of our webinar. We are exactly on time, 5 o'clock. I just want to have a last remark. So first of all, huge thank to all the panelists here, everyone who has joined. This has been an incredibly insightful discussion. Few key messages have clearly emerged. AI is already creating quite a good value in solar industry. At the same time, we need humans. So it is nothing to about we are losing job. I think we all have quite a lot of job. We need to still work a lot. We also heard a lot about trust, transparency, honesty, accountability. So that's important. And perhaps the biggest takeaway is this: the winner won't be the AI alone. I think it will be a mix between the human, we say empathy, which came out, and then the AI. That will combine together will really help us a lot. So before we wrap up, one quick announcement. We will be coming to Intersolar. There will be showcasing of Gaia, our AI. We have been working really hard on that. So love to get your feedbacks. So if you're coming to Intersolar, please join us at the booth. And that's it. So enjoy your rest of the day. Thank you all for joining and hope to see you again. Take care. Bye, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very
Bye-bye.
much. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.